session. And before they head off for a summer they'll never forget, we were hoping they'd take care of a little piece of business called the Child Victims Act. Here's State Senator Brad Thielman to explain.
The Child Victims Act would lift the statute of limitations in crimes of child sexual abuse to age 28 in criminal cases, 50 in civil cases, and provide a 1-year revival window for current cases. In New York, you have to file a claim by age 23 years if you've been abused as a child. It's the most restrictive statute of limitations in the country.
New York, best place to make it as a dancer, worst place to get molested. Now look, I don't want you to think the New York Senate is anti-child. This session, they passed bills allowing minors to race snowmobiles, get their own hunting licenses, and not be employed gathering or picking rags, cigar stumps, or collecting bones. Oh, how the newsies rejoiced. Oh, blimey, thank you, Governor. Drop it, Brittany, that's against the law now. So why have they been blocking this bill for 11 years?
Churches, yeshivas, the Boy Scouts of America are trying to quash the ability for survivors of child sex abuse to file claims.
The Catholic Conference, headed by Timothy Cardinal Dolan, spent more than $2.1 million from 2007 through the end of 2015 to lobby against the Child Victims Act.
Way to fight the stereotype, guys. Does your flock know where the bake sale money is going? You know what? Everyday Catholics want to make things right, not have their church forever be known as Our Lady of the Perpetual Bad Touch. So, why?
Churches and youth groups like the Boy Scouts presumably oppose this legislation because they think it's going to bankrupt them.
I don't know. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that if you're an institution that has hurt so many children that paying out civil settlements would make you go bankrupt, maybe you should. Anyway, fine. It won't. You're sitting on more treasure than Smaug the Dragon, so pay up. Now look, you may be thinking, voting against child abuse victims sounds like an unpopular position to take publicly. Luckily, the senators don't have to because Majority Leader John Flanagan from Long Island never lets the Child Victims Act come to the floor for a vote. What gives, John? Is it blackmail? Does the church have compromising frescoes of you? But while most of the bill's opponents lay low, hoping nobody notices them, there is one who is out, loud and proud. Head of the Catholic League and first-time smiler, Bill Donahue. He called the Child Victims Act a vindictive bill pushed by lawyers and activists out to rape the Catholic Church. Wait, does he just think victims are overreacting because he believes the term to rape means to inconvenience? When survivors saw their hopes dashed at last year's legislative session, this humble servant of God made an official statement on the Catholic League website, illustrated with this loser clip art, echoing the New Testament's taunting of the victims on the Mount. And Jesus said unto them, shit out of luck are the meek, for they can sit and spin, losers. Donahue also called the bill's sponsor, Margaret Markey, the principal enemy of the church. I guess that means he downgraded the devil to second place. Let us read further from the Gospel of Donahue, for it is so special.
Muslim barbarians. What should we do about them? Shoot them if we have to. I'm not a fan of barbarians.
You're a typical Ivy League little brat who thinks it's okay to dunk on Catholics, but you don't like my goop joke. Now, what's wrong with a goop joke? It's not pedophilia. Most of the victims are post-pubescent. That's not pedophilia, buddy. That's homosexuality.
How is only one of these two provocateurs shunned by polite society? Seriously, is it the clothes? Is that better? Will you please stop inviting Bill on television now? Will our senators at least stop siding with him against these people?
It took 45 years for me to be able to confront my abuser. I didn't know who to trust, who to turn to, out of fear.
It's like a nightmare. Esto es un secreto entre tú y entre yo y Dios.
It is not un secreto anymore. We just put it on TV. Hi, New York Senate. We see you. What do you say, Senator Flanagan and Governor Cuomo? You've still got a whole hour.
Republican Senate Leader John Flanagan. Flanagan says his chamber will not be voting on the Child Victims Act. He did not explain why.
Oh, yeah? Well, maybe he'd like to explain why on the phone. You know, these people have schlepped up to Albany enough. If they have to go back to the Capitol next year, so help me, New Yorkers can make sure you guys don't. We'll be right back.